There are two anime series I've finished the quickest. 25 episodes of Steins Gate in 4 days, and 52 episodes of Higurashi in 3 days. But what about romance anime? Today I'm going to recommend to you the 10 most addictive romance anime I've watched. This is my personal opinion, but you might have something you like. Let's go.
拙者も少し旅に疲れた。流浪にゆえ、またいつどこへ流れるかわからないが、それでよければしばらく厄介になるでござるよ。
We're talking about the remake. Set in late 19th century Japan, Rurouni Kenshin follows Kenshin Himura, a wandering swordsman who used to be a deadly assassin called Batosai. After the Bakumatsu era, Kenshin meets Kaoru Kamiya, who runs a struggling dojo. They team up to stop a fake Batosai, causing trouble in Tokyo while Kenshin keeps his past a secret. He's promised never to kill again, so he protects people and helps Kaoru bring her dojo back to life.
何すんのよ、おろしなさい。
手負いでの深追いは命取りでござるよ。
I know fans of the original series may have criticisms of the remake, but as someone who enjoyed it for the first time, this is epic. It has that perfect samurai nostalgia, a noble protagonist, and when the romance takes a slow pace, you can get these deadly action moments that can only keep you hooked. Kenshin is basically a hidden OP samurai who only goes berserk when something happens to the people he loves, and that's a formula I really love.
藤井君？
先生、なんで？
嘘、藤井さんのお子さんって藤井君だったの？
何当たり前のこと言ってんの？
違うの、私の学校の生徒。
Hold your horses, teachers and stepsisters, because I know this anime is a dumpster fire when it comes to characters, but the drama in this show is something else. Natsuo Fuji is a teenage guy dealing with his first crush on his happy-go-lucky teacher Hina, but she's way out of his league. Then there's Ryui, a girl who seems just as stuck in her own world, who suddenly pulls Natsuo into a night with no rules. Just when he's trying to make sense of it all, he finds out his dad got remarried and now Hina and Rui are his stepsisters.
これで全部終わりにするから。
Look, credit should be given where it's due. One of the reasons why the manga got so popular is because of the drama. Yes, it drags out a lot, but in the end, each arc, especially the first few ones, have so much tension and emotional buildup, which somehow in the climax leads to more tension and emotional buildup. The anime might not be the best, but at least go read the manga.
おい、君、大丈夫？つうか、俺がやばいじゃん。
We've got a romance, mystery, thriller next, gentlemen. This anime throws you into a strange Japan just after it survived a weird missile attack that no one talks about. 3 months later, we meet Saki, a laid-back college grad visiting the US, who ends up saving Akira, a completely naked guy who can't remember anything and says he's a terrorist with a digital wallet full of billions of yen. Now, Akira's caught up in a crazy game where money, memories, and saving the world all mix together, and Saki is right in the middle.
滝沢君ってもしかしたら私の王子様？
This is like reading one of those Dan Brown thriller novels, but with a bucket load of romance and teenage feelings thrown in. Yes, the romance might be slow-paced, but you get quickly addicted to the mystery of the entire show. The plot threads connect to one another pretty fast, and before you see the bigger plot in the show, all while establishing a nice and sweet romance story.
思い出した、千秋先輩。昨日のこと覚えてますか？
Shinichi Chiaki is a super serious music genius who's stuck in Japan because he's scared of flying, even though he dreams of performing in Europe's top music halls. His life changes when he meets Megumi Nodame, a totally messy pianist who doesn't know where she's going but somehow likes music. Nodame quickly falls for Shinichi, but Shinichi just wants to go to Europe and become a genius musician.
Hey! Boo!
あの女は。
I I loved how this show mixes funny romance with a real love for classical music, sometimes you don't usually find in shows. Nodame's goofy behavior and Shinichi's serious talent makes them a really interesting couple, and when there isn't much romance, you get these humorous moments sneaking up on you. Just like Your Lie in April, the music is more than background noise, it drives the whole story, making it way more exciting. And for once, we don't have annoying high schoolers.
綾瀬さんって超可愛いじゃん。
かわいい。何それ？なんで距離取ってんだよ。いや、それ違うんです、これは。
Momo Ayase is a popular high school girl who just got out of a breakup. She steps up to defend Ken Takakura, the school's shy alien-obsessed kid, from bullies. But here's the kicker. Momo doesn't believe in aliens at all. She's into ghosts and other spooky stuff. They argue a lot about what's out there, but when they both get some crazy superpowers, thanks to some things they don't believe in, they realize they work way better as a team.
確かに。よく考えたら可愛いかも。いや待て！綾瀬さんは友達だ。
I watched this show all at once. It's wild. And by wild, I mean, on one side, you've got a wholesome and sweet love story. On the other side, you got crazy aliens with very weird obsessions. And on the other side, we got a granny who wants to steal your balls and then slaps you in the face and makes you cry somewhere around episode 7. I know roller coaster of emotions is a phase everyone uses these days, but watching this anime feels like 7 roller coasters filled with emotions going up and down your spine.
君は選ばれたのだ。私の退屈を埋めるためのかけらの一つに。
Kazuya Kojo is a Japanese exchange student at a fancy boarding school in southern Europe. Because of his different look, people call him the Black Reaper. One day, he notices a shiny gold hair and follows it to Victorique de Blos, a mysterious girl who seems to know things before they happen. Together, they start investigating weird stuff like ghost ships and secret alchemies.
こうして見るとやっぱり人形みたいだな。
何をしている？
What really grabbed me was how Ghostic mixes romance with a dark, almost spooky vibe without just being a plain detective story. Victorique has the brains, and Kazuya, even though he has the face of every generic main character, is someone you can sympathize with when you move forwards with the story. Also, the small details like the fancy backgrounds and the unique side characters make the world feel alive. The plot gets pretty serious later, so don't worry, this is a happy ending.
元気があって可愛い言い名付けじゃないか。
可愛くない。いいじゃない。女同士だったんでしょ。よくない。
Ranma Saotome and his dad Genma get cursed on a martial arts trip to China. If Ranma hits cold water, he turns into a girl, and Genma becomes a panda. Hot water switches them back, but of course, life's never that simple. Now Ranma has to live with Akane, the girl he's supposed to marry, but keeps fighting with. And soon he realizes his father didn't just marry him off to one fiancé, but 3.
幸い半分は女なんだし、あんな痴漢お断り。ほら。
This remake captures that old school feel, but is way more faithful to the manga. But if I have to really point out why this anime is good, it's the characters and their chemistry. Akane might be your typical tsundere, but pair her up with Ranma, and you have the perfect power couple. The comedy is also on point, and I'd say this is one of the best rom-coms I've watched. And Yuko is obviously the best girl.
あら会長、今私のことを誘いましたか？男女で見に行くと結ばれる映画に私と会長の男女で行きたいと。あらあらまあまあ。
At the famous Shuchin Academy, Ryuki Shirogane and Kaguya Shinomiya run the student council as president and vice president. Both are at the top of their class and admired by everyone, but they secretly like each other. But there's a twist. Whoever admits their feelings first loses and feels embarrassed. So they start a silly but intense battle trying to make each other confess first while not showing any weakness.
普通にうまそうだ
な。そうでしょう。ならばお願いすることですね。一口分けてくださいと。
Watching Kaguya-sama love his war is like sitting front row at a crazy chess match. The show catches that nervous feeling before a confession really well, and then mixes it with some wild mental fights to keep things funny and exciting. The characters are more than just jokes. Kaguya's sharp focus on Shirogane, Chika's messy energy, and Ishigami's struggles all make this one heck of a fun rom-com.
まあよろしくな。
ロレンスクラフトロレンスだ。
ロレンス。この先未来永劫。主の名はわっちが美談にして語り継がせよう。
Hollow is a clever and strong wolf goddess who used to be honored in the little town of Paslo for helping with the harvest. But now, people only remember her in stories. When a traveling merchant named Craft Lawrence passes by, she makes him an offer. She'll join his business if he helps her get back to her home up north, Yoitsu. Lawrence agrees, and with Hollow's sharp understanding of people and Lawrence's trading skills, they set off together through medieval towns and markets.
ホロなんてもう必要ないか。
わっちがどうかしたかや
If you like economics mixed with a bit of romance, this one's for you. The non-stop trading talks might seem tricky, but they're actually really fun because Hollow and Lawrence keep teasing each other. And the plot has less drama and more political struggles. It's like going through an economic lesson but with a wolf girl in it. And since it has wolf girl in it, I'm not gonna complain. The new remake is pretty faithful to the original light novel, but I still like the old classic one more.
俺は声がお
Let's visit one of the classics. At Yamaboshi Academy, 5 students who don't fit in at any club start their own group called the Student Cultural Society. Taichi, Iori, Inban, Yui, and Yoshifumi are just regular misfits until something crazy happens. They start switching bodies randomly. This weird change throws their lives upside down and forces them to deal with secrets and feelings they had always kept hidden.
今度は何の冗談だ。
中身入れ替わっちゃったみたいだね。私と太一。
This made me realize the best way to create tension in a romance anime is to body swap the characters, because then there's literally 0 things to hide and it's less about how am I going to say it and more about, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Thus, body swapping could have gotten boring, but it keeps things fresh by showing how hard it is to live someone else's life and understand them. But the real reason this was so addictive for me was the relationship between Inaban and Taichi, and Iniban is still the best girl.